I think the first thing is to find out what you're actually feeling in the dream. Because if the dream, the feelings are really the guideposts and the signposts for understanding the dream. And most people miss that. They get sort of caught up in the plot and the characters, but the real question to ask all along is, what am I actually feeling? And a second thing that helps is to think about the dream as if it were actually happening. Would I respond this way if it were actually happening? So, for instance, I had a client who dreamed that he was talking on the cell phone. This is a very nice man, by the way, in waking life. And she said he couldn't hear her on the cell phone. So he said, "That's okay, I'll get in my car and drive over to talk to you." And it seems like a normal thing, perhaps, but when I said to him, "Well, why didn't you ask her to speak up? Or tell her that I can't hear you, even?" And then we got to, he really didn't think he could do that. And so he really, what looked like a nice thing to do really wasn't that nice in a certain way, because he was sort of taking care of her instead of just speaking up and saying what he really felt. So how we respond in a dream can point to behaviors we do all the time in waking life. And it's important to explore that. I had a client who dreamed that she was wrapped up in chains in her basement, and she was chatting with Bob Barker. And there she was, just in chains, wrapped up in chains, just sort of chatting away with Bob. Her son comes down the steps and gives her a kiss, and she says, "Have a nice day." And in that case, the issue, if you tried to find her feelings, I couldn't find them when I talked to her. She felt nothing about sitting there. She was fine with the chains. Bob was chatting with her. She was fine. So I had to sort of go a little, I said, "Well, why didn't you ask your son to help you get free?" And again, it had not occurred to her. So by comparing how we would feel in waking life, how would you feel if you were in chains, to how she was feeling, you begin to get a sense of what's missing in her response. So the dream is really pointing to a real problem, I think, that she had, and she understood that as we talked about it.